Hello everyone. Just looking to see whether that's going to let me share. No. Okay. So, hello, how's everybody doing? I said yesterday that I was going to do a little three-part mini series on the three pillars of my work and why I have these three pillars and the importance of them and how they all work together and relate to each other. So yesterday I spoke about understanding the importance of understanding your family history, how it informs who you are, how it informs how you show up as an adult, as a mum, as a wife. I mean, this would be to men and women, although predominantly I work with women. So we've got the three pillars are understanding your family history, goal setting, and mindset. And those three work, overlap and complement each other greatly. So we did yesterday understanding family history. Then today we're going to have a think about goal setting and the importance of goal setting and the importance of understanding where you want to be. Now, when we think about goal setting, there may be a tendency to be thinking of either a financial, a monetary goal, a job goal, a lifestyle goal. But actually, in my experience, with my client base, when we do goal setting work, overwhelmingly the goal is about family life, and what I call an internal goal, which would be around well, it's two things. It's always two things: happiness and confidence. So we can think in terms of, as I say, we can set goals in terms of lifestyle, in terms of job, in terms of money, in terms of whatever. But ultimately what people want is to be happy. And so with that, we need to understand how we've got to where we are now. And then once we understand how we've got to where we are now and why we are where we are, and then we have an idea of what we want, where we want to be, what we want life to look like, then we can look at closing the gap. And these goals that we have around, I mean, this is why I have these three pillars. This is why I feel so passionately about the work that I do, and why this is the reason I get up in the morning and do what I do, because I absolutely love it. These three things all interlink. They overlap, they complement each other. So how we feel, and we'll come on to mindset tomorrow, so I won't go into that in too much detail now, but like how we feel about ourselves is largely, not exclusively, but largely about how we were raised, how we were loved, how we were communicated to, how we saw love, how we saw communication, how we saw all of these things. Why family life is really important. Understanding your self-esteem, your self-worth, your mindset, which will come on to tomorrow, is largely based on how you were responded to as a child. And so when we think about goal setting and we think about what we want our life to look like, what you want your family life to look like, what you want your happiness goal to be like, when we think about goal setting, what absolutely comes into play there is whether or not you think you are deserving of getting it. Because it's very easy to have a goal. It's very easy to have a goal, whatever you want that goal to look like. But actually, do you feel like you deserve it? Do you feel like you are worthy of having that goal. If your goal is to live happily ever after, to have a loving partner, a loving, you know, husband or wife, beautiful family, and you know, for it all to be wonderful and relatively plain sailing, do you feel like you deserve that? Because I've worked with so many women where they pick the wrong guys because that's all they've ever known, or that's all they ever think that they're worth, usually because that's all they've ever known. And then when they do get a good guy, that there is a real tendency to sabotage the relationship because they don't feel like they're good enough for it. So particularly for women that have grown up in either abusive households, emotionally abusive or neglectful households, to then suddenly have all of your dreams come true with somebody who loves you and adores you and is compassionate and loyal and all of that, it feels too alien. It's too uncomfortable, and so sabotaging that is a really common mistake that women make, or just picking people who aren't going to treat you with the love and respect that you deserve, because you don't feel that you deserve it, so you go after a certain type all of the time. Okay, so I've gone slightly off tangent there, but I mean that's a really excellent example. You know, another really good example would be like people who make vision boards, who have vision boards of all of these wonderful things, but actually, do you deserve it? Do you love yourself enough to give yourself that reward, or does your self-esteem say to you, you'd never be good enough to get it? There's no point in going after it because I'm just not good enough for it. I'm not good enough to go for my dream job. I'm not good enough to do that training program. I'm not good enough to lose weight. Like, whatever it is, do you feel like it's worth it? So, coming back to the 3 pillars, understanding your family history and your childhood experience and your early relationships is imperative for understanding who you are, how you show up as an adult. Then we have a look at goal setting, where you want your life to be, and how you have got to where you are now. And then we look at the gap in between and work out how we're going to close the gap. And then all of that comes back down to your mindset, how you value yourself, how you think about yourself, and we'll come on to that tomorrow when thinking about confidence and self-limiting beliefs. Okay, just a short one today. If you're not in the Happy and Fulfilled group already, hop on over to the Happy and Fulfilled group. We do a lot more in-depth conversation in there, so please do come over in there. And if you've got any questions that you want to ask me about any of the work that I do, please do